So for one additional technique, what I've done here is I've laid down, again, the grounded blue. I've kind of gone in here and drawn my rough rendition of like a pine tree. To me, that's, in my world, that's a pine tree. And then, the trunk, and then some ground that it's on. And then I've waited for that to dry a little bit, enough so you can touch it and it won't come off in your fingers. I've then laid on some wax, so wax resist. I've brushed on a layer of wax resist over top of that. So what that means is whatever I paint, if I go to paint over top of that wax resist, it's just not gonna stick. Like, it'll stick like that, but then I can wipe it right off. So it doesn't actually stay. Okay, so the reason I'm doing that is so then I can do something called inlay. And an inlay technique is something where I'm going to just do a little bit of carving through that wax into the clay, and then I'm going to put on another color so that it's in those marks that I made. So, I might just want to make some accent marks in here. Maybe a little bit of trunk coming through there. And this is, if you do want to get you want to just give it a little bit more depth, what you have. This is a good way to do that. So then I just, I have that burr. You don't need to get that burr off right now. And you can do a full outline too, but I don't really feel a need to do that. That's more of a comic book thing to do, right? Not everything has, you look at things outside, there's no outline to it. So I'm gonna take another color, just a contrasting color, and what I do is I'm just gonna brush that over top, and you can see with the wax, just like when you guys glazed, right? When the wax gets applied, it'll resist any fluid that's put on it. So I'm just brushing over top. It's beating up, where the wax is, and it's sinking in and staying where the wax is not. So then I'm gonna have a clean sponge and a flat sponge. So I can lay this real flat on the pot, and I can just brush over like that. And you can see in the deeper spots where I dug in more, that slip is just wiping right off the surface there. And you need to keep that sponge clean. You want to keep it flat. If you don't keep it flat, what you do is you end up pushing the sponge into those little marks that you made, those little cut marks. And if, here I picked up too much with the sponge, so I can just go back and paint that in. And just be careful with how I take that out. So then that surface just gets, you wipe that slip off, you get your inlaid marks that you want. Those marks can be any color you want. You could make like Dr. Seuss trees. So does that make sense, that inlay? So that gives you a way to just draw in detail marks, especially if you're doing like a face.